McFarland, and we're coming at you another month for our headrush tone sculpting live stream. And all the rigs that you see me build here tonight will be accessible on the website. And if you want to go download those, you can just purchase that one course for $20 and just think of it like a tip, just helping me out here on the channel. And you get all the rigs that I create in past, present, and future live streams. So come on in. Let me know who you are, what your name is, where you're from, and what's your favorite overdrive in the headrush pedal board. Or if you're coming from another mauler, just what's your favorite overdrive in general. It doesn't matter if it's an analog pedal or from a mauler or what. It doesn't really matter. So what we have here tonight, I'm going to be using the gig board to demonstrate how I best use rig view to access all the different tones that I need for either a session, or maybe you have a certain set list that you're playing with your band at the local club. And yeah, there's lots of different options here on these headrush products, and we're going to find out what rig view is all about and how you can best utilize it. So let me run my cool little intro here and we'll get going. All right, very cool. So what I have here on the screen currently is something we can start with. We can start with something totally different if you want. I'm just going to kind of go with a few different tones. We have the orange. I call it the orange. This is the Tangerine 30, which is an orange rock reverb. It could be one of the 8030 models. I had a TH30 probably about 8 years ago. This is a great amp. I wouldn't mind having another one, but for now, the headrush is great for what I do. I also have a white boost in here, green JRC, which it always shows up yellow for some reason. It needs to default as green. I don't know why it just defaults to yellow all the time, but air delay, 11 reverb, and a stock cab with an 87. This time I kind of been on an 87 kick this last week, and I have that off axis on a 65 watt 4x12 cab. So this is the sound I have playing with a Eastman T59. That's not T59. It is. This is a T59V. Sorry, forgot the model name of my guitar for some reason. Let me check. Yep. T59V. And it is quite a looker. I love this thing. Very, very pretty. All made in Beijing, China by very, very skilled craftsmen that have been doing this very, very long time. So pretty excited about that. Francis is in the house. He says he likes the K Drive and the S1, which is the Boss SD1 overdrive. And I'm not going to be showing the chat comments on the screen tonight because I'm not using Melon app. Because I want to be able to do a multicam thing, and Melon app just doesn't do that. But I think I am going to use Melon for my interview style live streams and also some other content. But this kind of stuff just needs to be two different views. I got a camera, my phone over the gig board, and I'm using a Canon M50 for my own personal face right here. So Thamaris is in the house. Howdy, hope y'all had been doing good, Doc. Yep, been doing good. Apparently I slept on the couch last night because I just fell asleep and just didn't get back up. So that was my night last night. But so this is the tone on the bridge pickup, and I am using the channel 2 The gain all the way up, and middle, treble, bass, just smack down the middle, and the master pretty much down the middle as well. So and you should be hearing this in stereo. Let me turn down the mix just a little bit. Yeah, I'm hearing that. So, rig view. Let's go ahead and do this. Let's make a brand new set list, which I did by hitting discard changes. So I went up to my main 3 lines set list across the top. Then you can choose all rigs, ampitones. These are all stock stuff right here. But I'm going to hit new. Then I'm going to hit the the magnifying glass, because we're going to search for a rig that maybe you've already made, or you can just put in a stock one for now. I'm going to put in the Aura, and there it is. So you just tap on the name, it pulls it in. You hit save, and I'm going to say save new set list. We're going to call it Nate Band Gig. I don't know, whatever you want to do. Then we'll just back out of it. Now we're going to go find the set list we just made and go into it. Okay, what this does is a few things. It assures that any new rig that we make automatically gets put into this set list. If you make all these rigs in just the all rigs list, then you're going to have to go, usually they're at the very, very end, because anything new that you make, it shows up at the end and not toward the top or the middle. So you just have to scroll and scroll and scroll till you get to the end. But yeah, it just assures that any new rig that we make will be put into the same set list. Okay, so it's pretty easy to understand there. So now let's say, and we can alter the order of these rigs within the set list, but I'll show you that when we get a little more rigs in here. So we have a very nice crunchy, almost lead tone. If you will, we can turn off the delay. And Francis, I'm using the church right now, but you can use the medium plate, which is Francis's favorite. Which is very nice. I'll turn down the tone. Okay, that works for me. Now, what we're going to do, let's say I like this sound, and I like a lot of the effects blocks that are already in there. But now I'm going to save this as another rig. So we're going to hit save. Save new rig. And I have seen a few suggestions on the forum that people are wanting the current name to show up here on the white screen. So that way you already have a starting point, and then maybe you just want it to be called Aura 1, Aura 2, Aura 3. And all you have to do is just either add in a few characters or delete a few characters to get to where you want. But right now we have to start from scratch. So I'm going to say Aura. This is going to be Aura Dry. Okay, so we're not... we're going to bring down the mix, bring down the decay. So by dry in this case, it means we're just going to have a little bit of reverb just to add some depth, especially for the in-ears. And then we're going to turn off the delay and just have amp, cab, and reverb. Okay. So that's a good starting point. And now we're going to make a new, or save as a new rig, or wet. Okay. Or let's do this. Sorry. Let's call it Aura DLY for delay. And we're going to turn on the delay. delay. Okay. Okay, and let's go one more here. I mean, that's pretty good. Let's bring down the mix a little bit more. Bring down the feedback. Maybe the ratio. Okay, that's pretty good. Now the ratio on the air delay is basically saying we're going to take half of what the current delay time is. So we're, instead of a quarter note, we're making it an eighth note. Maybe 100% is an eighth note, and maybe 50% is like a dotted. Yeah, it's more of like a dotted eighth at that point. Okay, so we kind of altered that, which is good. And now we're going to hit save again, save new rig, or LD for lead. We're going to turn on the tube screamer there. And is there anything else I want? I'm not sure. All right. At this point, once we've made some rigs, I can hold down switch 1. For the pedal board, it's the lower left switch. And for the MX5, it's also switch 1. So it's the same thing. We're just going to hold it down. This gives us the option to select either stomp rig, hybrid, or set list. And on the pedal board, you have the additional song mode and for the MX5, you do not have hybrid because there's really not a way to have hybrid. Maybe there is, but I can't remember. I hadn't looked at it. So we're just going to choose rig. Okay. Right now in this view, we have Aura and we have Aura Dry. We have previous bank and next bank. There is an option on the gig board, which is probably why they made it available on the gig board. We're going to go to global settings, and on page 2, for the alt rig foot switch view, we're going to turn that on. And what this is going to do is it's going to make the middle 2 switches right here. These middle 2 switches. It says previous bank and next bank. So we can push it and it'll actually go straight to the rig that we've chosen. Or if we hold it down, it'll go to another bank. Okay, but it's not going anywhere right now because we've only made 4 rigs and there's no other bank to go up or down to. So once we make more rigs within this set list, I'll be able to bank up or down depending on what I want to do. Okay. And we can also go in and reorder a few things as well. So let's go to our Aura. Let's remind ourselves what this is. All right. So that one's kind of similar to the Aura Delay, which it basically is. Let's make this one a clean sound. So I'm going to go back here, choose channel 1, maybe bring the gain down to 74%. Okay, it sounds pretty good. Let's check the output. Cool. Let's bring the mix of this delay down. Okay. So it's just a little bit cleaner. And we can even go as far as adding in a Dyne 3. We're going to put in the dot comp. I'm going to push the rig volume up just a little bit. Alright, so that gives us a good clean. And let's rename this. So Aura CL. What I've been doing in my DAW, which is Harrison Mixbus 32C, is all my tracks, I try to name them with as few characters as possible. That's really helpful, especially if you're using a DAW controller with scribble strips and you're showing the names of the tracks. So for same thing goes for any kind of modeler that I'm using as well. So instead of saying CLEAN for clean, just call it CL for clean. Maybe your crunch tone is CR, your lead tone is LD. Maybe you have a lead with a delay, so it's LD DLY or something like that. So just try to abbreviate your names so that way your screen is not filled up with like super long names. And as long as I see CL, dry, DLY, and LD, I mean, that kind of lets me know what I'm dealing with there, if that makes sense. Okay? So let's just go through these. So we got clean. This is nice ambient sound. We're going to dry. Okay, let's go ahead and do what I just said. So we're going to do a CR for crunch. Or a delay. And then or a lead. Okay. Let's now take the clean sound and let's save this. Save new rig. We're going to call it Aura Trim. And we're going to add in a tremolo. Let's move these elements down a little bit. Go to modulation. Tremolo. I kind of wish there was more options for tremolo. There's other modelers have like opto, they have bias, they have pattern tremolo, just all kinds of different stuff. That would be nice to see. Because the optical trim does sound different from the bias trim. And let's see what this one does. Can't really tell enough. This one's a slow pan, so it's kind of going back and forth a little bit. Cool. It's nice. Okay, there's our trim, and you can see that we're now on a separate bank. Okay. Okay. Let's make a few more, and I'll show you how we can kind of combine different rigs, or the same rig between different banks. So I'm going to let's save this one. We're going to call it Aura Soak. We're going to take out the trim. Let's add in some more reverb type stuff. So let's do an ambiverb, long mod. I'm just kind of messing around with different. Sounds pretty neat. Let's change this reverb. It's already a church. Let's bring up the mix. Okay, it's pretty fun. Maybe turn on the white boost. Turn the gain down more. Alright, it's kind of fun. Let's do something crazy with the ping pong delay. Let's do a stereo wash on this. And I'm not going with anything in particular. I'm just trying to have fun here. This stuff is not rocket science for sure. Let's do a shimmer. Just mess with some presets. Mix down. We can turn the sync on and have this pre-delay be to a certain chord note. And then let's turn the mix of that down pretty low. Okay. So that's kind of neat. And let's do one more variation on that. Or swell. Okay, something like that. And we're going to add in under modulation. We could do an acoustic sam. That's neat. Let's go back. Dynamics. Auto swell. We'll make it slow. Alright, let's do one more. Save new rig. Or funk. Okay, or funk. Let's get rid of this stuff. Get rid of that delay. We'll put a slapback delay here. Tape echo. Slap. Let's put in just something totally different. Medium room, tone pretty low, mix pretty low. Auto swell off. Alright, so now we got 8 total rigs. And what I can do with the middle switches is hold down the second one to go to the previous bank. And you can see that switches. Now what's cool is it stays on the current rig that you've selected until you actually select another one. So even though I changed banks, I'm still on that Aura clean sound. And then I can go to my swell. Or go to soak. Or a trim. I can go to my output and just make sure it's getting enough juice with that tremolo. Swell. I don't like the white boost in there. Let's put this into the yellow just a little bit. And that's something you can do to make sure all your rigs are about the same volume. Just tap on that output and just make sure your green bars are somewhere either right below 0 or kind of just at the cusp of being at 0, almost into the yellow. So that way when you do add in any kind of boost or wall pedal or something, it's not getting into the red that much. Kind of want to keep it in the green, just almost on the verge of yellow, but not quite, if you can help it. And then for my master volume, I just try to keep it around, 7, 8, somewhere in there. Just to make sure I'm sending either the front of house guy or my interface just a good healthy signal without totally blowing out the preamps. That's what I do with that. Let's go back to the first side. Okay. Now let's do this. We're gonna tap. Seriously, there's only one rig in there. Why? What happened? No, it's right. It is right. I'm still on an old version, like a beta version, so that doesn't look right, but it's fine. But we are going to edit this in such a way to where, let's type in Aura. Okay. And we have clean, crunch, delay, lead. And then trim. Let's go back. If I can find it. There we go. Trim, soak, swell, and funk. So what I want to do is I want to add in another clean and maybe a delay, like a dirty delay sound on another bank that also has maybe the trim and the soak. So that's what that's going to allow you to do, is you can kind of group in fours certain sounds that you need access to at different times. So in the first bank, you have your core, like clean to overdrive and lead stuff. In your second bank, you have more of your wet and more of your effect, like modulation type stuff. And then your third bank, maybe even third and fourth bank, could be a combination of each. So maybe third bank is, like I said, you got clean and then delay and then a soak and a swell, or a trim and a soak, whatever. And then the fourth bank could be your crunch, your lead, your funk, and your trim, or just something like that. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go Aura. We're going to go clean. And then delay. And then I want, what did I say? trim, and soak. Okay. So there's my third bank right there. And then the fourth bank is going to be a crunch and a lead, and then a funk and a trim. Okay, so we're going to save that. We can go back, find my Nate. So now it says 16 rigs, so that's good. So now we're going to go in, and we're going to go to the next bank. There's my trim, soak, swell, and funk. Next bank is my clean, delay, trim, and soak. And then last bank is crunch, lead, funk, and trim. And you can add even more rigs to this if you want. But I feel like those first 8 rigs were a good core sound that I normally go for. And then I can just kind of get different combinations. So if you have a song that has a good crunch sound, then you got your lead, like the crunch. And notice when you're changing rigs, the beauty of a head rush is all your rigs spill over from one to the next. All your delays and reverbs, it doesn't cut them off. Unless you want to turn off the tails, and in that case, it would cut off anything that you have rigging out. So that's just a great thing about rig view. And also your scenes within a rig also spill over from one to the next. So whether you're using rigs or scenes, you got the spillover all the time, which is great. So that was crunched, and here's your lead. Hear that? So I went from lead to crunch, and my delay kept going, even though the crunch doesn't have delay in it. Okay, and I can go to funk. Okay, let me actually listen here. Mix down. Let's turn the... I created the rig, but I didn't really listen to the slapback I had. Turn it up a little bit. Okay, turn the mix back down. Just trying to find a happy medium here. All right, not bad. Let's try a little bit longer. Mix down. All right, cool. So because I've saved that funk rig, now if we go back to our other bank that has funk, it should be the exact same. And it is. So that is a really cool thing. I mean, technically, since you're copying the same rig between different banks, if you change a rig within one bank, it also changes it in the other banks because it's technically the same rig. So let's go to our... Yeah, so here's our last one. That was funk. Here's trim. Make sure this output is cranked up enough. And I feel like it's okay for this one to get a little loud. Just because, you know, the compression is kind of holding back the transients a little bit. Okay. And once again, this is all with a stock cab. I'm just using a 65 with the 87 off axis, and I think it sounds pretty good to me. We can bring up the breakup. Now with that, I only brought up the breakup on this rig and not anything else. So if I hit the crunch, see the breakup is all the way down. I can bring that up though. Okay. That works for that. Let's take a look at the chat and see what's going on here. I've just been kind of creating for a little bit. Yeah, Thammer says, great, easy setup, quick change for the moment. Yep, I get it. Awesome. Ian is in the house. He says, sounds great, Doctor. Would you change anything if you were using a single coil instead of a humbucker? You would just change maybe the gain structure on the amp itself. Make sure if you download these rigs and they're not quite as gainy as you like with the guitar, or maybe they're too gainy, you can just adjust the gain on the amp up or down depending on what you want to do. With that, Ian Thamorous is excited that Ian is here. He's like, Ian, what's up? Exclamation point. Thamorous is asking what Ian plays. He says almost anything except for drums. He doesn't have coordination, but he's going to work on that this year. I have total faith that you can get some coordination there. So Ian uses the MX5 currently with a Schecter Tempest and fretless bass too. That's cool. All right, just looking for questions here. There's a little bit of chat back and forth. Someone's birthday is tomorrow, apparently. Oh, Thamris's birthday is tomorrow. Happy birthday, Thamris. I have to say Thamris because Thams is just, I get confused. Is it Toms, Thoms, Thams? Thamris. It makes sense to me. Very cool. Sounds great. Just something for us with them now. Use what you created here for us. Yeah. Plus use a freelance song. All right, very cool. I'm all caught up here. So that's essentially what you do. That's basically just using the same amp. Let's do a few more rigs. We'll keep it in the same set list. But now I'm going to just say new rig. And let's make something brand new here. So we're going to go to amp. And you tell me what amp you want next. Okay, I'm just going to wait for a second. And just call it out. What do you want? I'm going to play with the ampless rig here. Let's actually do this. Let's do modulation, acoustic sim. I haven't messed with the acoustic sim in a while. Which to me doesn't sound very acoustic-y, but you know, it's hard to get these things exactly right. Oh, good. Marshall 800. I like that way better. Let's not do the acoustic. For me personally, I don't need the switch between electric guitar and acoustic guitar within the same song. So I would just put down my electric, pick up my acoustic, and then just have a blank rig with maybe a little bit of reverb, a little bit of compression. And that's my acoustic rig, essentially. But Thamris, the birthday boy, wants a Marshall 800. Alan Locke needs to update the latest firmware. Yes, you do. Dyne 57. All right, do you want a JCM 800 or an actual lead 800? Because to me, the JCM is the bee's knees. Okay, I'm just going to do the bass for now. Dyne 57. This actually sounds pretty good. There's a silver cone version. Let's do the B30, which is a vintage 32 by 12. All right, very cool. I like that. Let's put in a para EQ. Let's take out some of the brightness that's there. We're going to go to gain 3, maybe around 4K. Turn up the gain. So what I did there is I essentially took about 4K and I cut it just a little bit, and then I widened the this is the higher the number of the Q, the more narrow it is. I don't know. I essentially made it very narrow instead of making it like a wide cut. I just made it like a narrow cut. You should be able to hear that. So let's make it wide again. Yeah, so the higher the number on the Q, the less frequencies you're actually affecting. So it's only cutting around that 4K area. I think. Now, the only reason why I added that in, I felt like this was a little too bright. And it's already off axis, so this is on axis. And now we can go to our high shelf, because 1 and 4 are actually shelves. And let's go to maybe like a 8K and just boost it just a touch. Why not, right? All right, for the reverb on this one, we're going to go super short and 11 verb. I really like the garage, but like the mix down really low. Maybe turn the tone down. Okay, tails on. See any other suggestions here? Yeah, heavy shine. So Thamris is in the Floyd stuff. Are you talking about like Floyd Rose or Pink Floyd? Thamris is going to share a rig with me, so that's cool. Yep. Alright, so this is going to be our TH 800 RHY for rhythm. Let's go down a bank. RY. Okay, whatever. That's fine. Let's save another one and say TH is for Thamris, by the way. Happy birthday again, Thamris. 800 crunch. Even though it's already crunchy, we're going to add in a tube screamer. I did see a video by Sean Tubbs. He was demoing the new preamp, overdrive preamp, especially the DoD 250, which is what was added in the latest update. And we're going to try that out. He was getting some killer tones out of it, which I just don't think the Headrush version. Maybe it does sound like the original, but definitely the JHS 250 version was just great. I feel like the 250 sounds more like a fuzz than an overdrive, which may or may not be the best thing. Okay, I'm not going to do that. Let's use the Zach Wild trick and use the JCM 800 with a SD1 in front of it. We're going to do a boost. Okay, there's our crunch. Drive down, level up, tone up. Thamris is going to make a vid on the rig so you understand it. It's strange, or I'm sure it is. I'm sure it's really strange. TH 800 DLY. Okay. See, it's very important to abbreviate your names so that way they actually fit on the screen and it doesn't, get cut off or anything. And now let's add in I like the pitch delay a lot. Let's go with 0 semitones, feedback up. Okay, I like that one. And let's do one more based off, let's save it. Let's go back to our other rig. Save new rig, TH. I missed the H somehow. TH 800 PH for the phaser. So we're going to add in a modulation here. And we can either do a vibe phase, an orange phase, or a tron phase, or a stone phase. Let's do stone. The singer in my band, he had a stone phaser, and it was great. This is a stereo. Thamris, I would never admit that you were strange. Not to your face, anyway. I'm just kidding. We can make it super slow. So really, this is shaping up to be really nice. What I could do... what I could do with these rigs right here is just have a really good classic rock, like just rhythm guitar type stuff where you got your rhythm sound. Then your crunch with the added SD1 drive. All right, let's go back to our rhythm and let's make it just a little cleaner. Okay. Clean it up just a little bit more. And this is all based off of like a humbucker, style guitar. If you got a single coil, then you may already be in the ballpark of what you want. Ooh. I have noticed a few guys on the Facebook group say, hey, I just got the pedal board or the gig board or whatever you just got, and it's sounding horrible. I don't know what to do. What do I do? And I'm like, look at my rigs. I'm literally doing nothing to them. I'm even using stock cabs, which some people love and some people hate. Some people swear by IRs, which, don't get me wrong, I have my own IR pack from Sonic DNA, and I do use them all the time. And they're for a very specific purpose of getting different balances of microphones on either one speaker or two speakers. And that just gives me lots of variety for recording purposes. And if you want to help support the channel and you haven't done so yet, be sure to go down to the description and click on the Doctor McFarland IR pack from Sonic DNA. And most of the time, Greg has those packs on sale at whatever they are. But it's just a great way to support the channel. It's like giving a donation to what I do. And you're also helping to support me and Greg. And you get some great IRs out of it. So there you go. You can use IRs if you want. You can use stock cabs if you want. Whatever gets you the sound the quickest, that's what you want to do. So there's the rhythm. Here's the crunch. Woo! Here's the delay. Let's turn the mix of that down a touch. And here's the phase. All right, guys. So there's that. Let's just have some fun and let's do one more bank based off of another amp. Okay, so Thamris suggests the 800. And what is another amp you would like me to put in this set list here? So you can go to my website and download them. My ESP is a double hum. Double hum. Yeah, double humbucker. Yep, Alan Locke says, will this apply to the pedal board too? Yes, it will. If you like using rig view on the pedal board, you're actually going to see 8 rigs at one time instead of just 4. So you don't need the previous and next bank for the middle 2 switches like you do on the gig board. You're just going to use the bank up or down switches on the far left of the unit. And you can see 8 rigs at a time. But I think when you bank over the next bank, you're going to see on the top row the last 4 rigs, then they're going to see the next new 4 rigs. So it's not like you see a new 8, you just see the first 8 and then you see half of the previous set or previous bank, and then half of the new bank. So I kind of wish you did see all 8, like 8 new rigs per bank. But I think it just, it does its thing. So you have to check it out. All right, Alan wants the angle. Let's go for it. NFT rigs. I don't know if that's going to work or not. All right, let's do the angle. We're going to do this based off of each amp channel. How about that? Let's go to our classic 30 watt. Let's go at 87 off axis. Okay, this is supposed to be clean here, so make sure my volumes are up. See, I already did an orange amp for the first few banks, so I'm not going to do another orange amp. Not going to do it. I kind of did hear the bottom end come in just a little bit there. Kind of scoop it. See what the next thing does. Let's turn the presence down a little bit. All right, so that way, with that setting there, you still get a good clean sound if you use the middle position or your neck pickup. Then if you go to your bridge, it gets a little hairy, and you can boost it with pedals to get more overdrive out of it. Let's do an air reverb this time. Let's do a room. Maybe turn up the time just to like 1 second. Turn down the size. No, not the size. The mix. Okay, maybe 2 seconds. Okay, that's good. That's good for the verb. We're going to save new rig. Al for Allen. Allen Locke. ENGCL. Does that all fit? Let's go to the next bank. And it all fits. So we're going to do AL for the guy who suggested it. Ingle, ENG for Ingle, and then CL for clean. Okay. So now all we have to do is go to Save New Rig, AL, ENG. We're going to do crunch for our crunch channel. We're actually going to go to the crunch channel. Okay. Maybe turn up the gain just a little bit. Yeah, with this cab, maybe just with the microphone, I don't have to take out any weird spikes in the frequencies like I did with the 800 setup. So you still hear a nice little reverb tail there, which is cool. Save new rig, Al, ENG. Let's do lead. Let's do LWDY. Lordy. See, I can't fit all that in there. Let's just do LW. LW. So now it fits. Okay, we are going to add in just a little bit of delay here. Let's do a bucket brigade on this one. And we'll just do a echo light. Make sure our amp is the actual low lead. LW for low, or I guess I could have done LO. Let's do that. LO for low. Which to me, this one's a little dark. Let's crank up the mids and the treble. I want to make sure there's some good clarity there. Deep punch. Is the gate doing anything? I'm not sure. Loudy. That's right, loudy. I'm going to select my it says it's on. Select my threshold here. I'm going to turn up the compression on my vocal. Maybe. Ooh, once again, literally did nothing to the rig. I just brought in some effects blocks or some elements on the block, and that's it. That's all I do. It's pretty easy stuff, guys. E and G. Yes, right. Al does have his own rig now. He is very special. This is going to be HI for high. Let's go change the amp. Turn up the gain. All right, for this one, I'm going to put in a modulation and a air filter. And I have a dot cock setting, which is frequency around 1K, resonance at 40, fatness at 57, mix at 52, gain at 0, mode is BP for band pass, LFO is super slow, LFO depth is 50, and LFO sync is off. So this is my auto wall type setting. It's not an auto wall, it's like a Qtron. It's just a very slow, like your foot is sweeping on a expression pedal or something. Which, if you go to headrusheffects.com and you search under artists, you'll find my Doctor McFarland artist pack, which you can download for free. And a lot of those rigs are just the same kind of rigs I make all the time, really. So if you like that air filter setting, you can go download that pack from the Headrush website. And you can get a good ambient sound, some clean, some overdrives. Pretty much anything that you would need for a live gig. And you can just utilize those rigs all you want. Absolutely free. Just go download it and have a blast. Playing with those. Okay, let's make this delay a little bit. Turn the feedback up a little bit here. Man, I'm really tired. All right, so if there's anything about these rigs you don't like or you prefer to have a certain element on or off. Like essentially this would be my the angle low would be like my kind of lead but without the effects kind of sound, and then the angle high would be my actual lead tone if I wanted effects and stuff like that. So okay, that does have a delay in there, but then this is the more yeah, it's just, you know. That air filter does make things pretty bright. So let's bring down the treble on the amp and also the presence. And you can also turn down the mix a little bit, just to not make it as pronounced in the mix. Okay, so let's review here. Let's go back. You can also just take your finger and drag it down. That's how you can get to all your rigs. So if you go download this month's live stream rigs, then you're going to get a lot of rigs going on here. So I've made quite a few. And they're all very useful. You got your cleans, your crunches, your leads, your wet effects. Some with modulation, some without. Just a whole slew of things. So if you use any of these, send me a message either on Facebook or my direct messaging option on my website and say, hey, doctor, I really like your rigs and I used them at this gig that I just played over the weekend, and maybe send me like a short video or something. It'd be cool to see you using these rigs a little bit. So we should have many groups of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yeah, should have about 20 or so. About 20 rigs. So that's plenty. We can use the previous bank to go between a few different ones. Here's the lead 800 stuff. And this 800 is very tonally different from the Engel stuff. Low. That one's not going to work. See how bright that is versus this? What can we do about this one here? Turn up the treble. Maybe something got changed. I'm not sure. Yeah, maybe turn the treble back up in the mid-range. Then the Engel. And treble up. Let's make sure this one has enough output. Save it. That one has just a slight boost to it, And that may be what you want for like some good lead. Yeah, I think it's okay having certain rigs just being slightly louder than others, because maybe you do want them to jump out over the band for certain parts. So that's definitely the way to go. Let's look at these comments here. Alan struggles with gates. I mean, these rigs are fairly... I mean, they're not that noisy. But what I do, Alan, is... let's go to a preset. Which I don't have any presets on here. Turn down the gate threshold. Which you can kind of hear some... The reason why you couldn't hear anything before is because the threshold was at the default 60 or negative 60 dB. And it was cutting off a lot of that low rumble stuff. But that could potentially cut off some held out solo notes or single notes. So usually you want your gate threshold to be around, 85 to 90. And then the gate release can be low, like 11 milliseconds is fine. But I like using the noise filter maybe around that 90 mark. And what that does, it just helps cut out any of the just weird noises down there. So if you listen, there's not a whole lot going on down there. There's the noise filter. Let's turn up the gain on this amp. And maybe raise back up the threshold. Let's actually lower the threshold. There we go. So the threshold's all the way down. You can hear there's a lot of noise down there. So now we're going to turn up the noise filter. It just kind of cuts all that out. All that weirdness out. Okay, let's go back. Turn the gate back up. So you kind of see where the green bars live down there. And just set your threshold just right, maybe right at it or right above where the green bars are. So then when you're actually playing, you don't have your notes cutting off. Yeah, I mean, it takes a lot for it to get down to like just nothing. All right, so now that we've have some settings made, we can hit save while you're on this screen and save as a new preset. I'm going to call this Dock Gate. So I think I did have to do a factory reset on this, so it deleted a lot of my settings. Which I have them all stored on the computer. It's just a matter of backing them back up. So yeah, I'll save it. And in my preset set the Dock Gate on that. So if I go here, see it's not on Dock Gate anymore. So what I'm going to have to do is hit Dock Gate. And then I'm going to have it be locked. So that should mean it's locked for everything. And it is. Okay. So once you find your settings that you like, you can save it as a preset while you're on that page. You have to be on this page right here in order to save it as a preset. And then you can just, you can hit the locked option and it'll just lock it for all rigs across every set list, every rig you pull up. It'll have the same input settings. Okay. You may want that, you may not, but just kind of experiment with that. You can't lock anything for the output because sometimes you do want to change the actual output of things. But there's that. Let me check the comments here. Francis is now in the padded pedal room, and he says it sounds great. We got him going all crazy. Yeah. Thamers has to go to bed. I'm about to go to bed myself. And it's about 10:09 here in Nashville area. Thamers is going to go. Says goodbye. And Alan says that helps. And Alan says awesome. So what I'm going to do, what you're going to get if you go to the website and are a purchaser of these, of the HTS rigs, you're going to see a set list file, and you're also going to see all the rigs within the set list. And you're not going to get it in IR or anything because I'm just using stock cabs. So what you're going to do when you sync up your headrest unit to your computer through the USB cable, and if you're on Windows, make sure you have the USB or the headrest Windows driver installed, so that way it connects correctly. If you're on a Mac, it just does it automatically. But what you're going to do is take the setlist file, drag it into in the setlist folder, and then take all the rigs and drag them into the rigs folder. And then when you sync them back up to your headrest device, you should see your set list within your set list, list right here. And it'll say Nate Band Gig. You can rename it to Alan Locke Rocks or whatever you want. And you're going to see all the rigs in there. Okay. I think I said there was 20. Maybe there's only 16. I can't count. Yeah, because some of these banks I reused like half of the previous rigs. So it is only 16. But it is what it is. Okay, so 16 rigs. And we got a nice orange sound with the orange amp. Now, I didn't really mix up like different amps and cabs within the same bank, because I think you can get a very drastic sound like that. And I prefer one bank to have similar sounds within them. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's just what I like. You can do whatever you want. Thamris is going to have some totally wild rigs. But not me. I try to keep it kind of calm and sane. Ooh. This may be the set list I use for a lot of things. Because there's some good tones in here. Some really good tones. It has some cleans, some crunches, some delays, some tremolo. This one bank right here is great for the church stuff I do. Let's turn off that white boost. Let's turn down the tone of the shimmer. Whoa. Sounds really cool. All right, guys. I have to go hold a baby. Kevin Carrick is in the house. He says hello. What's up? What's up, Kevin? If you are a part of the headrest tone sculpting course, which is my way of going through every single amp, cab, microphone, effect, IR, all the stuff. And I'm explaining what each one does and how they work and how you can integrate them together. And so I have a new bundle on the website that you can get the headrest tone sculpting course, the HTS rigs, and now I'm going to add in a tonal analysis section of the website to where I'm going to pick a band and or just song from a certain band, and I'm going to show you how to recreate that sound on your headrest pedal board or headrest product. Okay. So if you would like to be a part of that, you can buy the bundle, or if you want to wait till I have a few tonal analysis products out there, you can buy each one individually. But you always save money when you buy the bundles because you just pay for it once and you get all future editions that I add in that bundle. So it's a really great way to learn and just use your ears and learn to create different tones that you hear on your favorite albums, whether that's on a CD, Spotify, radio, YouTube. You can, wherever you listen to music. If you say like, hey, I really like that band, how do they get that sound? I can be like, I'm going to show you how to do that. So send me a private message on the website. And if you want a very special price for all you guys that are hanging out after an hour and a half, if you've made it this far into the live stream, just send me a direct message on my website. Say, hey, I'm here to get a good deal on this bundle that you're offering. Then send me a message. Otherwise, you're not going to get it. But if you want it, you guys go to my website, send me a message, and I'll reply back with like a coupon or something so you can get a good deal on it. Okay? But that is about it. Tonight, I have the studio live set up right here. Let me show you on my phone. So there is the PreSonus Studio Live 24, which is it's a 24 input, but a 32 channel board, which is kind of confusing, but it works. Works really well. Got the gig board. I have my rack of guitars over here, a bass, a telly type stuff. I'm going to do a video this week going over these drums that I have back here, which is a Roland VAD 503. I've got some new speakers in the studio. There's my Canon M50 that I use, that you're seeing me right now. And I have a hacky sack that I've had for about 20 years. If you're into hacky sacks, which I don't really play a whole lot anymore, but I'm trying to teach my kids how to hacky. Here's a Alesis piano right there. And here's another goodie down there that I'm going to do a video on very, very soon. So I'm going to hide my Epoch cam right here. And I'm currently still in the bonus room of the house. What's going to happen on Friday is me and the contractor I've been working with, we're going to rough in the sliding glass door. I'm going to use this hand, sliding glass door, for the vocal booth, or you can call it the ISO booth if you want. And we're going to rough in the main entranceway door, and also start putting in the trim around the bottom of the walls and stuff. So that's what's going to happen in the studio this week. I hope to have a good studio update for you next Monday. But I just haven't had a good video in a while because not a lot's been going on with the studio due to this or that and just, life happening. So I hope to be in the new studio space here in a few weeks, because I do have a band coming in at the end of this month, and also I have a session booked for the end of April, and I need to have that space done so I can do some proper testing and just make sure everything's working just the way that it needs to. So anything you get from the website as far as products, and if you want to buy a t-shirt, which is, this is not my personal t-shirt, but there's a link in the description called merch and donate. So I would rather you not donate money. I would rather you buy something. That's a great way to just give me money, is just to buy something. That way I get money and you get something in return. But if you do want to buy a t-shirt, I did renew my subscription to Streamlabs OBS, and that's how they're creating t-shirts for me. So if you want to get a Doctor McFarland Studios t-shirt and wear it around town and support what I do here on YouTube, there's a great way to do that. There's also affiliate links down below to Amazon and Sweetwater. If you were going to buy something from there anyways, go ahead and support your favorite YouTuber, whether that's me or anybody else that you watch on YouTube. Most everybody has some sort of affiliate links. So the next time your wife or your significant other goes shopping, say, whoa, wait, don't do anything yet. Make sure you click through Dr. McFarland's link in any of his videos. And whatever you purchase after clicking through my link, I get just a small commission from that. And it just all adds up to, being pennies on the dollar. But it does help go support your favorite YouTuber, i.e. if that's me, that's great. If it's somebody else, that's also great because you're supporting somebody. And so go get you some toilet paper and maybe a new guitar or some guitar strings or anything you need for your studio or band practice space or whatever. Just click through a link, buy it. I'll get the commission from it, which is no extra cost to you, and we'll all be happy. So this has been a fun night. I just wanted to keep it real simple tonight and just show you how to use RigView and give you a good array of sounds that you can use for your next gig or recording session. So in the meantime, I'm Dr. McFarland. Thanks guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Keep rocking.